Hello Guyanese citizens. In this video, OGGN wants to explain what is called the resource curse, as it is something usually associated with oil and can relate to Guyana's new oil industry. The resource curse is a term created by researchers who observe that some countries with an abundance of natural resources, specifically oil, gas, gold, and diamonds and other minerals, tend to underperform compared to other countries which have no such natural blessings. It is also known as the paradox of plenty. By underperformance, it means they tend to do worse in the usual development outcomes such as per capita income, human development index, gender equality, poverty measures, and a few others. However, there have been a few notable exceptions to the notion of a resource curse, including oil countries such as Botswana and Norway, and the Emirates of Dubai. Additionally, there are some small countries that have done relatively better with little or no natural abundance, including Barbados, Mauritius, Singapore, and others. Will Guyana become the next Botswana or Dubai, or will it become more like the exemplars of the resource curse, Equatorial New Guinea and Angola, seen as extreme failures, and Trinidad and Tobago as semi-failure? The resource curse is not inevitable, but we must understand some of the channels through which it can manifest itself and plan to avoid the pitfalls. The natural resource curse occurs when the governments develop an unhealthy dependence on natural resource exports and fail to plan for a balanced and diverse economy or to support other industrial or economic sectors beyond the major resource. Guyana could fall a victim to this if its natural resource, which includes petroleum minerals, forestry and agriculture, or fishing resources, are not managed correctly, and if there are no transparent mechanisms for accountability. Yet, there are some good cases of countries that are trying to manage their resource well, and Chile is a good example. An example of a country experiencing the resource curse is Venezuela, Guyana's neighbor to the west. Part of its resource curse is directly linked to mismanagement, corruptions, and siphoning of money from the Venezuelan Sovereign Wealth Fund, the PDVSA. This resulted in the neglect and maintenance of the capital-intensive oil industry, little exploration of new wells, inadequate diversification into other economic sectors such as manufacturing, technology, etc. In the end, this has also resulted in runaway inflation and out-migration, etc. In the oil curse, the potential riches in the oil sector may cause the country's other industries to suffer, which in long term is detrimental. Workers in the agricultural industry may find better paying jobs related to oil, leading to a drain in agriculture. When the price of the resource drops to where it is no longer profitable, the country may not have enough farmers to feed itself. For countries experiencing natural resource curse, the government in power may try to hold on to power by attempting to circumvent democracy to benefit their party. Those holding the top jobs for the party in power may try to benefit the most from the natural resource riches. Norway and Botswana implemented the international measures to avoid the curse. Therefore, the resource curse ought not to be inevitable. It would be better for us to think about natural resource abundance as a double-edged sword of both dangers and favorable possibilities. Guyana's oil production is in the early stages, but already there are troubling signs with respect to the natural resource curse. Could Guyana escape the natural resource curse? Whether Guyana evades the curse will depend on many factors. Government transparency in releasing information, strong resource accountability measures, ensuring we receive an overall fair compensation for our oil, upholding the laws of Guyana on flaring of gas and illegal contract awards, and strict ongoing monitoring. Ensuring there is a master plan such as a 10-year plan for balanced investment and development in mining, oil and gas, forestry, bauxite, manganese, manufacturing, agriculture and fishing, services, etc. To ensure oil money is spent on projects that grow the economy and there is not an overdependence on petroleum to the exclusion of other sectors. Government needs to activate the revised Natural Resource Fund in an inclusive governance process that is representative of all interests in the society. The monitoring and watchdog role of a strong regulatory system and policy framework can be a deterrent to the country falling into a resource curse trap. There are positive signs that Guyana may be headed in the right direction to minimize the curse. First, the release of the Stabroek oil contract was a big step. It exposed that the oil companies do not pay taxes, and the contract has a clause that prevents Guyana from correcting a contract that possibly includes illegal terms. The contract release also enabled analysis to show how unfair is the 2% royalty you receive for oil compared to Suriname's 6.25%. Second, Guyana being involved in the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative (EITI) should enable some transparency with regards to how much income Guyana receives from oil and where the money is being spent. The most positive sign is our major newspapers are educating the public on oil issues and sharing information on other countries' experience with oil. In the end, all Guyanese must play their part and hold political leaders accountable for the newfound oil wealth by voting and engaging in more civic participation. Otherwise, Guyanese may suffer the same fate as Venezuelans and other countries where oil has turned out to be more of a curse than a blessing.